Hey, and welcome to another episode of Muscle Matters. I'm joined tonight by Mike. Tonight, we're going to do helpful hints with supplementations. You always hear us talk about supplements and things things you can take to help enhance your workout. So we're just going to give you some helpful hints. I'll get it out. See you real soon. All right, it's Muscle Matters, and in the words of my good friend Tom, muscles do matter. I got a lot of things going through this world because of muscle. It was pretty cool. So tonight we're going to talk a little bit about things that can help you with your workouts. I guess we all take all these different things. So beat my own chest. I always talk about how I worked out for 2 or 3 hours, and I love to work out for 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, I wish I had that kind of time. I actually do like working out when I have time for it.
And seeing that would, I loved working out. I didn't feel like I needed to rush, but during that workout time, my water had a waxy in it. My water had an amino in it. My water had glutamine in it. My water had all these different ingredients, so I would not deplete myself during the workouts.
So hold up a minute. What's a waxy?
Waxy is just a simple carb.
Okay.
Dex, waxy, it's a simple carb. It's basically carb that processes really quick to sugar, because you don't want something that's in your body that like a complex carb. A complex carb has to take time to digest.
Be like a candy bar, or
candy bar would be similar, but you're still causing a digestion process. So it's why it's always like it's better to do it with something that's in water.
And a complex carb be like rice and
rice would be a simple again.
Oh, going the other way.
So a complex carbs, what it is, a simple carb has a straight glycemic index, so it goes straight up.
Okay.
So as soon as it hits your system, it's creating sugar.
Okay.
Complex has a slow burn, so it creates sugar over the next couple hours.
What's a complex example?
Complex oatmeal, sweet potatoes, things like that. So they have a longer burn. So with the waxy is just basically waxy Dex. There's a couple different versions of them out there. It's just a simple sugar that hits your bloodstream immediately. So, and it's not in sugar form, it's in a carb form. So the body processes it different. So, and if you notice, I said it was in my water. One of the biggest keys to opening up your supplementation is water. You take all
these. That's like about the only thing I do right is stay hydrated.
Well, because you take anything you're going to take, you take anything to increase muscle mass, increase your size, increase your endurance. Creatine is probably the great grandpa that still works out awesome.
Yeah.
It does increase your ATPs. It does help you get more energy, and it does all these wonderful things. But it does it because it's putting hydration into the muscle. So if there's no water, there's no muscle expansion. And I'll come back in a second and explain to you how Tom's brother put me in check on when and how to take my creatine.
Good old Tim.
Yes, he put me in check. I love him to death. He'd always walk up and
I've heard this story.
Yes, he'd give me a school question, and I'd be like, "Oh, teacher, I know the answer." And I'd be like, "No, I don't." So water, it's really important when you're taking supplements. I mean, you could take these aminos, you could take all these products, and I see a lot of people who work out, and I'm a firm believer of the Rich Piana school, walking around with a big gallon of water. But then again, I was in the gym for 2 or 3 hours when I worked out, so I had this big giant thing of water. But I see people who go work out, and they're pretty dedicated and they're pretty hardcore with their workouts. And I'm not going to, nothing to take from a workout, but they'll walk to the water fountain and get a mouthful of water. Your body is sweating and you're dehydrating, so you're losing repetition, you're losing strength, you're losing a lot of things by not being hydrated. And a second ago, I was telling you about water, and the biggest gimmick to water is electrolytes.
Right. That's so that I wanted to dig in on, because I thought electrolytes were and I even go so far, if I have a headache, I'll put salt in my water.
Okay. Now if you have a headache, it's probably because you are dehydrated.
Right.
The electrolyte is for what? Why do you need salt?
To help you be hydrated, right?
Salt is for muscle.
Okay. So why does the salt help with the headache?
It's the water that's helping with your headache.
Right.
Because you're dehydrated.
But it gets in there faster. So. No? It's a placebo?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You're just enjoying your water because electrolytes are not a gimmick when it comes to working out. Electrolytes are a gimmick when it's in the street. You see smart water and they're always full of electrolytes. your electrolytes are just replenishing the minerals that your body gets rid of. The salt that your body gets rid of. When you have a sweat and you got the nice white ring all around your clothes, that is the salt coming out of your body. So that's what
I always get them on my hats.
Yeah, so that's what the electrolytes are for. They're there to replenish the salt that you lost during activities.
Okay.
So you see people walking around and they're drinking Gatorade all day long. They're actually doing more damage to their body.
Well, that's full of sugar.
Yeah, but you actually do it. Same difference with the electrolytes. You're actually doing more damage to your kidney and your liver because your body doesn't need those minerals.
The salt.
The mineral spirit, yes. Okay. Electrolytes they're salt, but they're turned to get in your system quicker.
Okay.
So they're for that Gatorade. You know what it's where Gatorade got its name, right?
From the University of Florida.
Yes, Gatorade. Yeah. They were the first ones to do it. So he created this thing that helped the athletes stay hydrated longer and get their electrolytes back in a lot quicker. So it is something great for activity. So if you're actually working out, it's a great thing for working out. But as far as just being in the street, mineral water is better for you when you're walking around than electrolytes. So you go look for something.
But why do you feel more hydrated faster with electrolytes?
You don't. You just drinking water. If you went and had a mineral water that has trace minerals in it that your body actually needs, you'd be like this. Oh, I feel better. Like physically feel better. And it took me years to figure this out because I used to drink alkaline water because alkaline water was pushed down our throats. That alkaline water. I
remember that was like in the early 2000s. Man, right?
I was a huge advocate.
Like around 20 years ago.
Man, I loved alkaline water. I still kind of will reach for alkaline water versus regular water because my mind still tells me it works better. It's a whole iodine act. The iodine water is actually better, but you want to get a mineral water. Mineral water is always something very great because it has the minerals in there that your body actually needs. It's trace minerals. So everything is replenishing your body. So you'll go grab a mineral water the next time you have a headache and you can feel the body just go so much better. So as I was talking about Tom's brother, Tim is the one who told me how to properly take creatine with aminos. You'll always hear me talk about aminos. I believe aminos are probably the top tool for working out because you get your essential amino acids, which are all the amino acids you get from food. So you get these amino acids you get from food, and you want to take them. The proper way to take it is before and after. Remember, everything is about repairing and replenishing the muscle.
Before, during, and after.
During doesn't necessarily have to happen if you do it before and after.
Oh, okay. I could have sworn I heard you tell me before, during, and after.
I always take it during, and the reason I always take it during is because before and after is expensive.
Okay.
You'll take you'll get you'll be spending $100 a month just on aminos.
Okay.
Where if you drink it during and you slide it all the way to after, it's getting into your system. I always like to do it during. Tim had me doing it before and after. And the purpose, I remember Tim walked up to me and he said, Steve, when you take your aminos, and I felt very proud of myself. And I said, take them all day long. I take them here, take them there, take them everywhere. And he went, okay. And he asked me to take my creatine. Now, this is another thing. Creatine before and after with aminos is a great way to go. And he said, Steve, when you take a creatine, once again, I felt like I had an A in a test. And I said, take it before your workout. He goes, He goes, so what do aminos do? And I said, aminos fix the muscle, repairs the muscle. He goes, He goes, what does creatine did? Once again, I think I'm acing the test. I'm like, it puts water in the muscle. And he goes, now imagine if you put your aminos with your creatine and you drank it before and after your workouts, what would happen? And I was just like, because creatine puts water in your muscle. So it's really good. So if you're taking an amino, you want to have some sort of a creatine in, especially if it's something you're doing during the workout, so it can rapidly absorb into the muscle. So front load it. Drink it during your workout, whatever it's going to be. You want to have your amino centered right there. There's really no other reason to take an amino acid other than right there. Now, there's some other amino acids out there that are really great that help with cramping. But generally right there in your workout is when you want to have your amino acid. You will hear people always refer to a protein shake. I'm not a fan of protein shakes in any way, shape, or form.
You hate them.
That absolutely, because
it's like one of the biggest things I hear you preach about.
Yeah, I just they'll tell you get your aminos from your protein powder, but a proper protein powder is supposed to digest slowly because it's supposed to be a food supplement. It's not supposed to digest rapidly, and the anabolic window is anabolic window. Slow down and say it right. Is a myth, but it's not a myth. So when you're working out, you want to replenish the muscle, repair the muscle, and get the muscle as much energy back into it so you can go through about your days. You want to try to block the DOMs as best as you can. That's where your aminos and your glutamine come in. I've talked about these before. The reason I always preach aminos is aminos are what the body's made out of. That's what protein comes from. It repairs the muscles. There's all these different things. Branched chain amino acids by themselves don't work. You need essentials. It's an ugly thing that we learned through the years.
Right. And what's the difference?
Well, they're essentials. A good essential will have a branched chain in there. Branched chain amino acids are the aminos that your body naturally makes, that your body, they do all these wonderful things, but a lot of times they don't do it well enough without the presence of protein. Now, somebody that it's a bodybuilder who's eating protein all day long, he's going to have a high amount of EAAs. That's why you hear some people say aminos work and aminos don't. Because if you get a plain branched chain amino acid and you don't have the presence of an essential, or you're not eating enough protein to have your body have all this extra protein being absorbed into your bloodstream, when the aminos get there, it doesn't unlock it. So the essential amino acids are the aminos you get from food, and you can only get them from food. And they're the key to unlocking everything that a branched chain amino acid does. So when you get an amino acid, you want to make sure you get an EAA, not just a BCA, because you want to be able to unlock the things that branched chain amino acids do, which repair, recover, because everything's about repair and recover. Repair, recover.
Do you have a favorite brand?
Favorite brand? I don't want to preach brands. I don't want to preach brands, because if I preach brands, then I'm preaching my store, and I'll be like, oh, you can come to 7420 District Boulevard and get it from there. I don't want to preach store, because then I just sound like a salesman, and I refuse to sound like a salesman. I actually want to tell people and help people out. That's my whole thing. When you come into the shop, I'm always about helping you. You know me. I'm the first thing I'll ask you when you ask for a supplement is, what's your diet like? Well,
the first thing you did the first time I went there, and I know you got a lot of people, especially on your Instagram, watching that are your followers and friends, and they probably all had the very similar experience. The first thing, you wouldn't sell me anything. Yes. You refused to sell me anything the first time I went to the store.
Yes, because I always say I don't want to be a liar. I don't want to put something out and tell somebody, get this right here, and then I become a liar because you're like, hey, that didn't work. Like people come in and they I'm getting off topic. People come in and they want to get enhancement products and all these cutting edge products. They all work great, but not without food. Because then you take this product and I'm like, hey, you can get some muscle. And you don't get a lick of muscle because you need enough food. I don't want to preach about food because I do it all the time, but food is so hydration is very important. So you figure you get your agmatine, your citrulline. There's so many things to help you unlock your workouts. Agmatine, citrulline, it opens the blood vessels. It allows more blood. Caffeine is a catch-22 when it comes to working out.
Okay.
Caffeine, and when you get the caffeine, your brain gets the endorphins going. You get the feeling good. Heart rate gets up. You feel like you've got this plethora of energy. Caffeine takes the blood vessel and shrinks it.
Okay.
So now your heart's working harder to do its job regularly, and it's working twice as fast.
Okay.
Caffeine is also will dehydrate you.
Know that.
So now you're getting rid of water. So when you take caffeine, that's why on energy drinks, you'll see a lot of people crack open an energy drink, drinking an energy drink to go to work out. They're actually doing themselves worse because they do not have any agmatine or citrulline in there to open the blood vessel up. So it's shrinking. You're not getting as well as a pump. You're not getting as much energy. You're getting tired twice as fast. And by tired, I mean muscles are getting tired. So without going into feeling like a salesman, having the right pre-workout. Yeah. So if you
is going to have those things in it, right?
So those are like, I remember when I first time I discovered pump products.
Yeah.
Like, creatine's been around since Moses walked the earth, and then they started coming out with citrulline, agmatine, and all these great pump products. So I would take pump products. Like, my goodness, I had so much stuff in my. So these great pump products. So you get you a great pump product where it opens the blood vessels up, and you will feel different parts of your muscles that you never felt before, because now you're getting an above adequate flow of blood, and blood is the road. I mean, once again, you got the amino acids. You're living this great life. You're eating all your food. You're doing everything perfect, but you're not opening up the roads. It's kind of like picture trying to go down to LA. You're going on the freeway, and it's come down to one lane.
I've experienced that, and
so
that's terrible.
It's frustrating drive, right?
Uh-huh.
So you can't get to where you're trying to go on time.
No.
So when you take the caffeine product, and the more caffeine you take, the tighter it squeezes the blood vessel.
Yeah.
So you're basically trying to get all the nutrition, all your amino acids, all these great things that you're taking, all these products that are supposed to make your workout great, but you're trying to squeeze it through one lane of traffic.
Okay.
So now you add in agmatine, citrulline, you add in one of these pump enhancing products, and now it opens it up to a superhighway.
Okay.
So now I have a superhighway where I can get in the outside lane and I can open up and go as fast as I want. So I can get there in an adequate amount of time. So now the transportation of the nutrition, because nutrition is the key, the transportation of the nutrition actually gets to the muscle.
So genuine question, not trying to set,
Yes,
not
no.
a setup here. Does a Haka have that in it?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very important.
That's why like you feel it.
Yeah, it has to be there. Because that's why, I'm just harping on energy drinks right now. I won't even go down the road on why energy drinks are just the most horrible thing in the world to have before you work out. But what it just closes the blood vessel. So if you will feel in your workout, you will feel even more tired.
Yeah.
Even though your heart's beating out of your chest.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to have some sort of agmatine, citrulline to open up the blood vessels because they're your highway. That's where all your nutrition's going. You've lived this great life. You're eating your meals like you're supposed to all day long, and you're trying to get everything done in your workout. So you want to have these agmatine, citrulline in there to open up your blood vessels, whether you're just a regular person working out, whether you're trying to set a PR, whether you're trying to have 25-inch arms, whatever you're trying to do, agmatine and citrulline should be there. There's other great product, man. Glycogen is awesome.
It's sugar, basically, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You get it in a powder form. You get just agmatine, citrulline, a little bit of glycogen, and some creatine. It's the best pump you'll ever have. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So I had a ton of crap like that in there. But these are all things. So I really wanted to make people understand hydration is the key that opens all these things up. So I've got the blood vessels going. I've got everything open. And once again, I'm just not getting enough water. My muscle's still going to tire out.
Mm-hmm.
Hydration. So make sure if anything you hear from this today, the biggest tip is hydration. If the guys got any questions, feel free to jump in, throw them out there. If you have, hey, Steve, what about this? What about that? What about, I can see you guys up on the thing and I'll be able to answer right away. Hydration is probably one of the best things you can do. I mean, like I said, I'm from the school of Rich Piana to have the big 5-gallon jug.
Yeah, well, I made a rule. Like I learned, I don't know how many years ago now, but a few years ago, and like I'll carry around a 32-ounce cup, and I'll fill it up for like 4 times a day. I drink a gallon a day.
Bingo. Like I said, let's get back on the subject. So like I said, the anabolic window. It's not a real thing, but it is a real thing.
Okay.
It's a weird saying because I want to get nutrition back into my muscle as quickly as possible. So I've got these amino acids going. I've got these great things going in there. And if I got my essential amino acids, my body's loading up. I've taken my creatine. I've taken my agmatine. All this stuff is in my system, and my muscle is full.
Mm-hmm.
So once again, I'm anti-shake, but that's the best place to have a shake is your post-workout. Now,
what do you want in the shake besides protein?
You're going to get something to eat.
Okay.
The shake is not replacing the food that you're
replacing calories.
Yes. Now, instead of a shake, you can get a Greek yogurt. You can get some fruit.
Burger.
No, that's after.
Okay.
But you still have to eat in order to get the muscle to repair. But that's where you want to have your shake. You want to have your shake sometime after, ASAP, as quickly as you can get nutrition. Because remember, you've got all these wonderful things, agmatine and citrulline, that are opening up the blood vessels, and they're going to keep the blood vessels open for the next 2 to 4 hours. So you want to try to get, and it should take depending on the type of protein you get, a hydrolyzed protein through your system in 45 minutes. Isolates and concentrates, they take about an hour to 2 hours to get through your system, depending on how you're digesting. So your blood veins are going to be open, and you're going to get something that's digesting really simple. And if you have a good protein will have plenty of amino acids. It all breaks down to amino acids. We could slide in there. At this point, instead of going to a waxy or a Dex or a powder source, you should have, a fruit source is always a good source. Good fruits are always good. Watermelon is full of glutamine. There's tons of things out there. Cantaloupe bananas. I mean, if you're trying to get ready for a show, sorry about your bad luck. You're just gonna have to be depleted. But I'm talking to regular people, not people that are insane, that are doing 90 days worth of cardio, living, 90 days of 3 hours of cardio and not eating any food. That's insanity. I will never do that again. So you want to have like good fruits right there. There's nothing wrong with fruits. You want to have colors in your diet. That's one of the things that a lot of people mess up when they get into the lifestyle. They want to eat like they see what is the kid that everybody likes now? Seabum. They see him eating it. Trust me, Seabum in the off season has plenty of color in his diet. You need all those things. All these supplements that you buy from the store, you get from food. So that's a good place to have your fruits.
Blueberry, strawberry, raspberry.
Blueberries, strawberries, I save those for a little, not so much strawberries, but blueberries and raspberries, I save those for another part of the day because those have antitoxins in them.
Okay.
You want to get something that's higher on the glycemic index. Strawberries are good.
Bananas.
Bananas is good because of the potassium. Cantaloupe actually has more potassium than a banana. It's a little harder digesting, but a banana is a simple fruit that could go with the shake. You could drop it in there, put it right in right away.
Great in a shake. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because it's fast dissolving. So you want things that are going to dissolve pretty fast, but simple, real sugar. The body loves real sugar, not fake sugar. The body loves real sugar. I always instruct people to keep an apple. You've heard me talk about that.
Yep.
Keep a green apple somewhere near you. I have a bag of trail mix I keep in the fridge at NAS, and I'll go and get my trail mix, and I'll eat that to keep myself going through the sets. Man, I'm blowing through this pretty quick. I thought this would take a little bit longer.
Well, we're talking about supplements, how to do better in your supplements, and you talked about the peptides last week. Peptides are a supplement too, right?
Yeah. Well, peptides.
I mean, all of these things are supplements.
Yeah, but those are enhancements.
Okay, so what's the difference between enhancements and supplements?
The supplements we're currently talking about are things that will benefit your workout.
Okay.
These are enhancements. So when you talk about peptides, you're talking about things that repair, recover after your workout. So they're more in, I keep them separated from aminos and protein shakes because these are more enhancements and they do a little bit of different things. Enhancement always requires sleep and food. The workout, we're talking about how to better improve your, I should have said workout. Supplements to better improve your workout.
Okay,
that's what I should have.
So aminos, creatine,
citrulline, agmatine. You want some sort of vessel dilator, whatever your vessel.
What about the pre-workouts? That's a supplement, right? Because
the pre-workouts, I always, you hear me tell it all the time. You got a store, I sell it all the time, and I tell people all the time, stay away from the devil's juice for as long as you can. Because once you start taking the devil juice, your workout.
I take it every morning.
Yeah, your workout sucks. you try to figure out what's wrong with your life because you got devil juice, and it makes you want to lift things. It talks to you. So I always tell people, stay away from pre-workout for as long as you can. Once you start taking it, you'll know that your workout absolutely sucks. But if you, like I said, if you're taking just a plain caffeine product, make sure you have some sort of agmatine, citrulline, something to cause the blood vessels open up because you don't want to clog the highway up. You don't want the highway to be a one-lane traffic.
But you call protein a supplement too.
Yes. And the reason I said the proper place for protein is post-workout.
Right.
I don't talk about it another time of the day. Now, I understand why people take proteins because not everybody
can get enough meat. Yeah. Well, and that's a great point. Is it more expensive to buy the quantity of meat or to buy the protein supplement?
I don't know. Nowadays, meat's so gosh.
I know, right? We just live off protein supplements. So we just take protein bars and Quest Nutrition.
Oh, Cheeto, hurry up, get back in the office. I need my food cheaper. I can imagine eating the way I used to nowadays. I'd cry. I'd be on a sign in the corner. We'll pose in my underwear for food.
Didn't you do that?
Well, on some website I might have. So you, like I said, I understand protein shakes. To me, the perfect spot for a protein shake, there's 3 places. Pre-breakfast.
Pre-breakfast. I didn't know that was a meal, but I'm going to add it to my diet.
Yeah, pre-breakfast, because a lot of people wake up and they're not hungry. I don't know who those people are. Yeah, but a lot of people wake up and they're not hungry. That's one of the things.
That's not me.
I hear people say, "Oh, I can go to noon till before I eat," and I'm like, "Oh, because your stomach's dead. You have a dead metabolism." But I was competitive, and I always refer back to because I'm my biggest test subject.
Yeah, Yeah, you ran a lot of experiments.
Yes, that's the only way you learn. I banged my head into the wall. Nobody was going to teach me. I just banged my head in the wall and said, "Ow, that didn't work." So, like having it pre-breakfast, I would get up and I'd have a shake because, I got to cook some eggs. I got the eggs in the cooker. I've got. Oh, I love my air fryer. Now I have steak in the air fryer.
I'm jealous.
Oh man, I love my air fryer. It's the greatest invention in the world. Whoever made an air fryer, bruh.
God bless you.
Yes. So I would have my food cooking and I'd be getting ready for my morning. So I'd have my shake because I was trying to stay as nourished as I possibly could because my end game was to be this creature. But I needed my metabolism to start. So I'd have there. So then I'd have it post-workout. And then I'd have it, I'd have it in the middle of the night. I'd have a shake by the side of my bed in the middle of the night because I woke up hungry because I was eating every 2 hours back then. So I think those are the 3 best places to have a shake if you're going to have them. Now, I understand why people have shakes, but just remember, you can't substitute real food for powder because you're doing your body a disservice because anything made in a lab, it's still processed food. Anything made in a lab is not going to give you the nutritional value of food. Nature is this great thing that whether you believe in the big guy or not believe in the big guy, nature is this great thing that was made for us. So you need real food. It's got all, not to mention if you're having real food create your stomach has to digest it, which means your heart has to beat, which means you're creating metabolism. It does all these wonderful things. And it's not processed.
Are egg whites as your protein in your smoothie okay?
Now, are we talking liquid egg whites?
Ooh, good
or
question.
are we cracking an egg open?
Well, I'm guessing if it's my household, we can do either. But right now we have like carton of liquid egg whites.
Okay, because cartons of egg whites are so.
Yeah, it's processed, just like
It's not so much processed. A lot of I used to drink my eggs. I was like everybody else. I watched Rocky, Hulk Hogan, and I'd crack open 12 eggs and I'd swap them down and be like, "Oh,
no, that's crazy how actually dangerous that is." Right?
Yes, yes. If your body could actually digest that protein, you would get sick as a dog. You get
not to mention it tastes like crap.
Well, Rocky did it. The Hulk Hogan did it.
Speaking of, I was just over there in Philadelphia.
Where?
We were on the steps. We took a picture.
Did you run up the steps or you just walk up there?
No, we ran.
Oh, liar.
I'll show you the video.
I have to see that one.
I'll show you the video.
I've seen those steps. I ain't running up none of those steps. So what ends up happening is if you could actually digest an egg is like raw chicken. You are still eating a raw chicken. Our stomachs are not designed. We don't have, golly, I get too scientific and I hate being scientific. Ew, that's even a made-up word.
I was going to say, is that even a word? Scientifical. Write that one down, Darius. Yes, that's the word of the week.
I think I heard it on a talk show or something.
You probably did.
But Dr. Oz.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not that.
No, he's a quack. So we do not have an enzyme in our stomach to actually digest a raw egg. Now, liquid egg whites are supposed to be made pre-digested. But a lot of times they're made pre-digested for cooking, not for consumption.
Okay. Oh.
Yes. Yes. Because I used to do the cartons of liquid eggs and I got sick.
Yeah. I wonder why.
Yeah. Because I was,
because you're not supposed to consume those.
Now, there's all these companies and there's a reason, like the carton of egg at your local grocery store might be, what is it now, $6 or $7? And it's supposed to be like 64 eggs in one.
Yeah.
And then you go to
$6 or $7. Scientifical is the word.
Oh my goodness!
In British English. Thank you, Darius.
Our great staff in the back is kicking. I don't sound so back now. See, I knew I was smart. So basically, when you look at things like Jantana egg, liquid egg whites, egg white 24/7, which is one of my favorite ones. You look at these things; they have gone the extra mile to make sure that it's made for human consumption, made for you to drink. The ones that they're selling in the store are not made to drink. They're still made to be cooked. So it's basically they're taking the egg, taking away the shell, and dropping it in a carton.
Yeah. Well, she's saying, okay, so she's saying the recipe on the carton for smoothie on the carton. So the Costco one. So apparently there are some that are made for it.
And that's why and it just really comes down. Like I did it for a long time. I was drinking them. Then one day the room spun and I couldn't understand what was wrong with me. I was laying on the floor. I just was like, oh, because the black in me came out. Like, oh God, Father, it's the big one. I'm dying. So
and then you went to the doctor and got all scientifical on you.
Oh no, I was driving home and I pulled to the side of the road and I puked.
And when I puked, good. That probably saved your life.
Yes, I puked it all up and it was nice and yellow and I went, well, guess I'm not drinking the carton egg whites anymore.
Right.
So that was because it was easy. I mean, when I was eating my eggs, it was easy. I'd crack open 12 eggs, swallow. I didn't have to cook them. I had my protein. I was thinking to myself, I had my protein. And it was on a humbug. I came across the article. And if you guys don't believe me, there's an article out there, and it's I found this back in the 90s. I'm old as dirt. Back when dial-up made a funny noise, and it took a while to cut for the internet.
Wait, are you dating me too? Because I remember that.
Yeah. So you remember when you'd have that funny noise and you have to wait.
it's called modem.
Get off the phone.
Yeah. And you hear the talking over the modem. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you would, if you want to look it up, it's raw eggs versus boiled eggs, and you'll see, and it's a nice little rabbit hole to go down, and you'll understand, like, oh my goodness, because like I said, Hulk Hogan was doing it, Jack LaLanne was doing it. You watched all these old 60s bodybuilders, they were doing it. And it was like, all right, cool. Yay.
They weren't actually doing it. They were trying to sell it to you.
You're just have you ever Tom talk about Arnold in supplements? And how he was not yeah, the good supplements are under the counter.
Yeah, he got paid really, really well to sell these supplements, not to use them.
Yes. So, man, I remember my good friend Pat when he got his. Man, I don't want to go down this rabbit hole about proteins because I could tell you the first time I got a protein sponsor, I get put on 10 pounds of muscle in a week, and I was like, "What is in this protein, bro?" Because I'm back from the day where they would put steroids in protein. I'm like, "What is this?" And he goes, "Oh, it's just real protein." And because I was like, a lot of you guys out there, so you'll hear me talk about things about how much I hate protein.
But that's a reason,
because a lot of
it's protein, a lie.
It's a lot of protein out there isn't real protein, but it's blah 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 blah. So when I got my first sponsorship, I had protein falling out my head. I had protein everywhere. Thank you, Jace. Love you, brother. So I would have all these. I gained 10 pounds, and that's when I came to understand not all protein is created
equal.
Wait
a second, it's your birthday?
Yesterday was.
Happy birthday, bro.
Gracias.
we would have celebrated here on the show with you if we knew that.
It's all right. Birthdays are overrated. I'm like Sean Connery. I level up now. I don't have birthdays no more. Just level up. So not like I said, that's why I hate protein. It's real protein is expensive to make. And people are trying to cut as much corners as they can. You'll see a protein sold out of most nutritional shops anywhere between $80 to $120. But then you walk in Walmart and they're for $40. So I was going over to the Walmart and I was buying Walmart protein like everybody else. I'm getting my protein powder.
But the ones at Costco are good, right?
Yeah, sure. If you can buy 10 pounds of protein cheaper than you can buy 10 pounds of meat,
it's not actual protein.
It's kind of like getting the chicken in the bag out of the freezer.
What do they put in there that's not protein?
Have you ever seen the back of some of those labels?
You can't read them.
Yeah, exactly.
They have like way bigger words than scientifical.
Yes, that's that process thing. So, yes, level up. Thank you very much.
Happy level up day.
Yes, I said my hero Sean Connery. So I guess that's pretty much it. It's the most important thing to all that is hydration. At the end of this episode, I want you guys to understand hydration is probably the key to unlocking every supplement you're taking for the gym. Yeah.
So make sure you go out there and drink a gallon of water right before bed.
Ooh, you don't like people, do you? But you should. You know what? Before you reach for your coffee, and I'm not going to tell you not to reach for coffee. Before you reach for coffee, because I know a lot of people are looking at me crazy because the first thing they do is get up and they go to Starbucks. Before you reach for your coffee, have about 22 ounces of water.
Oh, I have that cup of 32 ounces.
Yeah.
Sits right by my bed.
Yes.
And first thing I do, even before coffee, almost every single day.
Yeah, and it will increase your energy and it actually help your caffeine work better because remember caffeine dehydrates you, it shrinks your blood vessels.
I wonder if that's why I feel so rested today because I had my water and then a cup of coffee.
Well, because think about it especially right now in the summertime, you're laying in bed sweating.
Yeah,
you'll get up and you urinate anywhere between 1 to 3 times, just depending. So you'll urinate, so you're expelling water, you're sweating, you get rid of water, you're laying in the bed, so you're getting rid of water, you're dehydrating yourself in your sleep. You probably hasn't drank anything since 8 o'clock the night before, because if you drink too late, you get up and pee all night long. Don't do what he says, because you ain't gonna sleep. You're just gonna get up and pee.
Does warm salt water help wake the body first thing?
In a bathtub. Once again,
going back to the conversation about electrolytes. You're better off with mineral water. You're better off putting some lemon or some lime in your water, so that actually makes a natural. Is there anything about warm water though? Just warm water, so electrolytes do nothing. The warm water at all?
Room temperature water is technically better for your body.
Yeah, because
the inside of your body is not cold. So have you ever heard somebody say when somebody is having a heat stroke, you don't give them cold water, you'll make it worse?
I never drink cold water.
Yeah.
Always room temperature.
So room temperature water is actually better, but who wants to drink room temperature water? We're from a first world country. I'm so sorry about your bad luck. I would rather have a cold cup of water in the morning than room temperature, but I do keep
apparently I'm better than you.
You know what? It's all right. I'll take my first world problems any day of the week. So, if you guys have any more questions, we try to keep these things 30 minutes. If you guys
we're already way over.
Yeah, I know. If you guys have any questions, shoot them real fast. If not, we're going to shut it down. So
3, 2, 1. Gone.
See you guys next Tuesday, 6:30. Ed and Evan will be here. And next episode, we're going to talk about
they're much better than this old fat white dude sitting next to you.
Well, you're great. No, I like you. Next Tuesday, we're going to talk about powerlifting accessories, wraps, knee wraps, belts.
Ooh, that's fun.
To kind of help people understand it's not just powerlifting, but lifting in general. The different kind of wraps, knee wraps, sleeves. So they're going to go over different things and how they work. So once again, it's been another episode of Muscle Matters. Thank you very much. See you next Tuesday.